Hello, my friend. My name is Terry Petrovick. Have you ever got yourself in a position where you didn't know exactly what to think and how to think when you were prospecting? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about having the proper MLM prospecting mindset. So stay tuned. How do you have the proper MLM prospecting mindset? Well, this is something that I think a lot of people struggle with, and I think we overcomplicate things. And if you just stop and put your mind and think about what is the prospect going through right now? What's going on in their world? How can we help them? And I gotta tell you this, if you ever feel rejection, if you ever feel bad because somebody is not joining your company or buying your products, who is that about? Is that more about you, or is it more about you serving the prospect? It's more about you, right? So when you think you are frustrated and your prospect is not joining, and you get depressed and you get bummed out because they're just not getting it or just not seeing it, well, odds are you're making it more about you than you are about them. Does that make sense? So what I want you to do, and these are some notes that I've got from Richard Brooke, and I'm going to incorporate some of the experience that I've had, and I have called probably over 150,000 people on the phone. For probably the first 10 years in my career, I did everything on the phone, whether it be just buying leads or talking to people face to face. So you have to have the proper mindset. And when you go into these conversations, it's going to be a quote unquote selling conversation. And as you do that, and as you go into that conversation, the key distinction that I really want you to make is treating that prospect, whether it be on the phone, whether it be, via social media, could be LinkedIn, could be Facebook, is know that they're a real person just like you. And people want to be heard, people want to be recognized. So as you're prospecting them, make sure that you honor them, you treat them with respect. Common sense stuff, but a lot of times we're so attached to that outcome. I love this. I love making it easy. I love making it easy when I'm doing my MLM prospecting for that prospect to say no. And that's an experienced mindset. So again, the goal here is, how do you have the proper MLM prospecting mindset? You have to make it about them. You have to make it about serving them and helping them. And this is something that I think a lot of people struggle with right here, is they get addicted to the outcome. They get addicted to everybody getting involved with their product or their business, and that doesn't work. Most of the times when you do that, your energy seems desperate, and you're almost begging them to buy your product, or you're chasing them to buy your product, or you're just looking. Every time you see them, you're going to bring your company, your product up, and you know what? It's just downright annoying. I tell people, don't be a weirdo. Sometimes people say, I don't like network marketing, I don't like MLM. Well, what don't you like about it? Well, people chase their family and friends all the time. Well, don't do that. How do you want to build your business? I want to build my business all online. Well, that's a great approach. Learn the skill sets. So again, use common sense. Don't chase people. Don't hound people. Don't beg people. And be okay with somebody saying no. My question for you, as we talk about how do you have the proper MLM prospecting mindset, is how do you put meaning on the word no? I'm not interested. No, I don't want to get involved with your company. No, I don't want to buy your products. No, it's not good for me. What meaning do you put on that statement when your prospect says that? What goes through the back of your mind? Are you saying, oh, that's cool, okay, no big deal? Or do you go into a deeper sales pitch? Oh no, you got to look at the comp plan and how we pay out at the 10th level, or you got to look at how we get this, exclusive berry, or how we do this, or how do we do that? You know what? When you feel rejection, hear me when I say this, when you feel rejection, you're making it about you. And the shift you need to make is make it about the other person. Common sense stuff. Common sense is not always common practice. And that's what I want you to understand here, my friend. So when you're talking to people, and this typically is only a problem, I think, when you don't have enough people to talk to. A lot of times when a company says, make a list of everybody in your phone book or your family and your friends. Make that list of 100 people, and you run out of that 100 people. You go through and it's like, I don't know where to go. Well, the reasons companies say make a list of your friends and family is there's no skill set required in that. Everybody has family, and everybody hopefully has some friends. Now, if you want to build a successful income in a home-based business profession like we're in right now, you got to learn how to market. You have to have skill set development. And that's really a conversation for a little bit later. But believe me when I say, when you learn how to market, having prospects is never an issue. Knowing what to say to them is kind of an issue for a lot of people. And that's kind of what we're going through right now. So understand, in every deck of 52 cards, there's always 4 aces. And when you get that no, understand that you're just flipping cards. The first 5 cards are not aces. So you flip the next 5 cards and you don't get any aces. You flip the 11th and the 12th card and bam, you got 1 ace. Well, the next set of aces, the other 3 aces could be after the 30th card or the 40th card. You never really know. So you just keep flipping. Just keep flipping. In network marketing or MLM prospecting, what we're talking about is sorting. Basically what you're doing is you're looking for people who are looking for what you have. So when you are talking to people, look to solve a problem. Look to see if there's a fit. Does that make sense? And understand that it's a numbers game. 52 cards in a deck. There's 4 aces. We don't know where they're going to be. It's okay. Understand this, and I don't know when you got involved with your first company, or maybe your second or third company, how many times did you have to see information before you said, yes, I want to get involved? How many times did you have to see it? Could be by the same person, could be by different people before you said yes. The average person takes 3 to 7 times before they're going to say yes to a product or even an opportunity. See, a lot of it has to be a timing thing. Some of it's education. Some of it is, if I spend this money, if I spend this $500 to get started in this business, am I really going to be able to solve my credit card debt problem? Or am I really going to be able to generate that $1,000 a month I need for my daughter's education? Or whatever the problem is. So understand that it's a timing thing for people. Be skilled and generous with your listening. A long time ago, I took a course and they talked about listening to people versus listening for people. A lot of times people will just speak just like they're not even present. But when you really are present and you're asking good questions, you listen to what they're saying and listen to what they're not saying, you can go on a deeper level. So the best thing I can tell you to do that is that when you are asking questions about what's important to the prospect, what's going on in their life, really show an interest, really be present, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask deeper questions. And sometimes when I'm talking to prospects, I'll say, may I be bold with you? Or can I ask you a real direct question? And they always 100% time say, sure, absolutely. Ask me whatever you want. Be curious, when you're talking to people. That's probably the number one thing. And when you're curious, you're getting good at asking questions and you're kind of getting a little bit personal. Now, some people feel very uncomfortable asking personal questions of prospects. But again, you have to put your mindset on. Again, we're talking about MLM prospecting mindset here. What you have to do as a mentor and a teacher and a coach is you got to figure out if you can help that person. And the best way you're going to do that is find out what's going on in their world. What do they like? What do they don't like? Have they been involved with a profession before? Do they know people who've gotten involved with a profession before? And most times people are going to say, yes, they know people, and they sucked at it. And very few people say, yeah, I know somebody, and they did really, really well at it. But you want to find out through these questions kind of what the objections are in the mindset of the prospect. And really the prospect is pretty much always going to go back to this fundamental mindset is, can I make it? Will I get my money back? Will this person, you, help them become successful? What you have to do is try to figure out what's missing in their life, what problems do they have, and then show them how they can get it. That kind of makes sense? So what we're doing here is we're uncovering problems. We're uncovering things that cause them to stay awake at night, to cause them to get frustrated. So your job is to figure out their pain points. And then what we want to do is sometimes when you get advanced in these strategies is you can throw a little salt on those pain points and ask them if they keep going down that road, what's it going to be like? You know, a great question is you ask somebody to get started and they don't want to get involved with the business and their reason is, I don't have the money. Great question I like to ask people is that what's your plan for getting more money? Most of the time, they don't have a plan. And then what we're doing here is we're positioning ourselves to say, hey, look, you know, if I could show you how to do that, would you be interested and open to taking a look? That's all you want. But you have to know enough about their family, their interests, what's important to them. Are there any people that they want to really help? Could be kids, could be grandkids, could be, you know, community, church, service organizations. You got to find out what's important to that person. Understand this. Every presentation that you do shouldn't be a presentation. It should be a conversation. Every presentation you do shouldn't be a presentation, meaning reading words. It should be a conversation, kind of like a dialogue. And the unfortunate part is that a lot of people, when they start talking about their company or their products, they just go right in. I call that having verbal diarrhea over people. Just talking about how great your product are, and you know what's in it, how it works, and you know the testimonials. People don't really care about the great testimonials unless they themselves or somebody that they know, love, and care about has a similar problem. And then what we can do is we can talk to them about the hope, about the possibility, about maybe changing somebody's physical health if you're in health and wellness niche, or showing them how to create a better quality of life if you're in a travel niche, or how to have a better quality of life if somebody is just like I was when I got started in the profession 25 years ago. I didn't need money. I needed time. I wasn't able to be the dad I wanted to be. So that was the most important thing for me. I wanted to find a way where I could leverage my time and leverage my income so I could be a better dad, spend time with my kids when they were small. Make sense? So when you're talking to people, be sure you take baby steps. And tell them from a posture standpoint that you, without a doubt, believe that if they're teachable and coachable, this program that you're working with can help them solve that problem. And you have to have posture that is very clear that you can help them. A lot of times when I'm meeting with somebody one-on-one, or even when I message people on Facebook or even in an email, I open it up, say, thanks for your interest, Mary, I can help you, period. That's what Mary wants. I don't even know Mary's problems to the nth degree yet, but I know she's got problems, and if she believes that I can help her, that's a beautiful thing. And all we want to do, remember, we're sorting. We're looking for people who are looking for what we have. We want them to take a look. You know what? It may or may not be for them, but we want them to take. Now, the only thing that we can typically control is the number of people we expose to our product and our business. We can't control, you know, if they get involved with the product. Can't control if they get involved with the business. But what we can't control is the exposure. So make sure that you're tracking your exposures, whether it be online or offline or a combination or both. But that prospect has to know and believe in your heart and in their heart that this product, this opportunity, this solution can help them solve that problem. We never want prospects to think about it. Some people live on someday I'll take a look at it. And you know what? If somebody takes a week to look at a presentation or some information, they are not who you're looking for. You're looking for action takers. Remember that. Most people who've gotten involved with me, and I've been a top recruiter in a couple of different companies, they make a decision from the first time I talk to them to the time they spend about $1,000 plus in 7 days. It doesn't take long. So if somebody is hemming and hawing, that kind of says that they're probably not serious, or you haven't dug deep enough to figure out what their problems are. So let's talk a little about some MLM prospecting scripts here, because knowing kind of what to say, and what I want you to do is kind of use your own words here. Never want you to get involved with reading a script, because that's just weird. It sounds very canned and nobody really likes that. But when you're talking to them about their problems of not having enough money, or maybe they need a second car, or they don't know how to pay for summer camp, you can just say to them, hey, look, I know a way that you could have done that. Would that be of interest to you enough to maybe take a look at this presentation? It's only a 15-minute presentation. So again, you're helping them solve a problem. Say, look, I really believe I have something here that can solve that problem for you. Are you open to taking a look? And you know what? If they're not open, there's nothing you can say. You're looking for people who are looking for what we have. And if somebody's not open, game over. If somebody's open, skeptical, I got no problem with that. Here's something else. I'm involved with something that I know could resolve that for you. Would that interest you enough to take a quick look? Jump on a conference call. Just want you to take a look. I always tell people, leave your checkbook at home. Leave your checkbook at home. Because, some people you get training from, they're going to give you scripts, and they're going to teach you how to close people, and they're going to teach you how to get people to nod, like 5 to 7 times in a row like this, and then you ask the closing question, you want to get started, and they're like, yeah, I'll get started. Well, what happens is people have buyer's remorse, and they don't do anything, or they return the kit, and you know what? It's a big waste of time. How do I know? I've done it. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this, trust me. You want people to see it. You want them to be able to picture themselves doing it so that they can see that problem being gone. Make sense? Here's something else that you can say, you would really be excellent at this program I'm involved with. The income you would earn, I really think would solve that problem for you. Would that be of interest for you? Just enough to take a no obligation look. No pressure, just want you to take a look. I know a way that you can earn an extra income to handle that, say, between $500 and $1,000 a month. Would that be enough for you to, be interested enough to take a look? All I want you to take a look, Mr. Prospect. Pretty simple. No hype. Just curious. Get them to take a look. Now, you do have to have some compelling marketing materials. You have to have some compelling information that's going to present the information on how they can solve the problem, whether it be losing weight, getting healthy, making money, whatever it is, how to generate leads online. Whatever problem they have, what you present to them has to be compelling enough and persuasive enough to lay it all out so that they can picture themselves as solving that. I like to, refer to the business as a program or something. Don't call it an opportunity or a business per se, because it freaks people out. And sometimes it's overused, I think. And, somebody who's never had a home business before, it's just too overwhelming. And they're like, oh my God, I got, 3 kids, I work, I just don't have enough time to start a business. So you want to give them the feeling that they can weave this into their life whenever they want. Make sense? Good. Be confident when you speak. Do it with conviction about your program's ability to solve the problem and your ability. And if you're brand new and you're prospecting, hey, that's okay, because you have a team of people, and some of those team members are six-figure earners. Some of them are probably seven-figure earners. My question for you is, do you know the people above you on your team who are the six-figure earners? And if you don't, I want to encourage you today to find out who they are. Pick up the phone, call them, introduce yourself, and if you want to generate a lot of money with this, say, hey, you and I don't know each other. I know that you're in my upline support team somewhere. Just want you to know that I am dead serious about, doing this business. Will you help me? And I got to tell you, any leader I've ever seen with a grain of salt will want to help their people at the low level. So it's your job to reach up. It's not their job to reach down. A lot of people say, why aren't people calling me? I was like, well, there's too many people for that to happen. You have to reach up and say, hey, look, I need some help. I'm hungry. I'm being motivated. And let me close with this. If they say that they're not interested for whatever reason, they don't have the money, they don't have the time, a closing question I love to ask them is that, who do you know who might be interested in earning an extra $1,000 a month and have dedicated hands-on training? Pause. Who do you know who might want to learn how to lose 10 pounds in the next 10 days? Pause. So you're getting them to think about who they know, and often they will give you a name or referral. If you have developed a good job of developing trust in them and asking good questions, and it's a timing thing. I know it's a timing thing. And if there's any way that you could, get a sample of your product, I don't know what your products are, let them experience it or purchase it at, no risk to them. Great way to do that as well. Again, it's a timing thing. Honor that. You probably didn't get started in your business just like that. They probably won't either. It's okay. And you can always ask them, hey, Mr. Prospect, would you like for me to follow up with you again, or would you like for me to go ahead and close your file? I can follow up with you. I love this. Write this down. I can follow up with you in 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, or close your file. Which would you prefer? Pause. You've heard me say pause probably 3 times in this little conversation that we're having. A lot of times when you're talking to people, again, we have that verbal diarrhea. We're talking at people. We're not being present. When you ask a question, you make a statement like that, you want to pause and give the prospect an opportunity to process it, think about it before you continue. Make sense? My name is Terry Petrovick. If this has been of value to you, do me a favor, hit the little like button below. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And I have something for you. I would love for you to do is leave me a comment below on what's the biggest prospecting mindset tip you have heard or experienced or shared with people that you've talked to at some point in your career. Again, if you got value, please share it. Please subscribe. You can click the little button at the lower right-hand corner here and connect with me on my blog. I'm always producing new content, new posts, new trainings. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate everything that you do. I'm very grateful for you. I love what I do. It's kind of become my passion and my mindset. And no matter where you are, if you're struggling, leave a comment below. Tell me what your biggest struggle is. I'd love to be able to help you. 80 to probably 90% of success in this business is mindset. And that's why I read every day and I work on myself every day. If you haven't plugged into my Get Inspired series yet, I'm actually creating one of those on YouTube here. You can check that out. Just click on the keyword in the videos, Get Inspired, or go to my blog, terrypetrovick.com. You'll see the link there, Get Inspired, where I'll be putting a lot of good book reviews, content that will help you and help me grow my mindset and grow our business. Again, until we meet again, my name is Terry Petrovick. Make it a better than terrific day and a prosperous one. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, and share this if you got some value. Bye-bye for now.